everyone, and welcome to the Red Zone. Do what you love what you do. Featuring people from all around the world, music, sports fans, entertainment, adventure, broadcasting skills. You can have your very adventure right here on the Red Zone. Thank you to Anchor, Spotify, Listen Notes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, and StreamYard for putting us out here on the map, and to YouTube for allowing us to upload our video. Today, we're back with Mechanic Warren. Today, we are talking about ultralights, weight shift trikes versus just regular planes. So we have a little bit to talk about today. So my dad loves to fly ultralights. He used to have one and fly it up in Alaska. So tell us a little bit about your ultralight and why you love ultralights so much.
Well, I love to fly. It's actual blast. You can go anywhere you want, but you're going at a fairly slow speed, kind of at your own pace. And you can go with a friend. You don't have to go very far, but you can take things along that you could land at different places and take a break, talk about your flight, and then come back home a different way. It's absolutely fun. I absolutely love it. It'd be nice to talk to other fellas in this area that I'm at, but there's not a lot here. But to go with other fellas to talk about it and to get other folks interested, because it is absolutely just a blast. From paramotors, or I don't know if you've ever heard of those. It's actually a parachute that
just like that sweatshirt.
Yeah,
paramotoring. The sky's the limit. It's the destination.
You put the motor on your back, and you can put it in your truck and just go out and fly for a few hours. Just have an absolute blast. Come home and talk about with your family what you did, what you saw, but you can do it like it's almost every night. You want to make sure that the weather is good, of course, and that you have a high pressure in there and so forth. But you do have a lot to learn as far as the flying the trike and flying your particular plane to and most of it doesn't have a lot to do with the plane at all. I mean, you got to learn about the weather and what is actually going on. Is there high pressure going on? Is there a lot of wind? And you want a nice night, a nice evening. They say for ultralights you want to fly in the morning or the evenings, but there's a lot of days that you can fly too that are real nice to fly. Here's some of the things that we do have. This is a 2021 private pilot prepare. I don't know if you can see this.
Mm-hmm. So that is the prepper software that you can actually get the prepper for it from Sporty's Pilot Shop. It's actually Sporty's is the best. They have private pilot, sport pilot, and all kinds of pilot tools. This is one of the best softwares to get. You can install it if your computer has disk drive. You can put that on there, and it is super great for that. And which is awesome about that is that everything you need to know about preparing to learn ultralights, sport pilot licenses, or anything that you want to know, this is a great software to have. You can download it also at Sporty's if you go and pay for it on their website, which I will link in the description below.
Oh, now we are not promoting any of these, right?
We're not promoting them, but we are recommending that you check them out just because they are professional. They do have a lot of experience with ultralights, aircraft, different types of aircraft. They know all the rules, regulations, things like that. But if you would like to sponsor us, we would love for you to sponsor us. So please reach out to us as we love ultralights, Sporty's Pilot Shop, anything like that. So if you want to sponsor us, let us know. Link in the comment section below. We would love to have you.
Well, this is another one called 2021
FAR AIM, which is the whole manual for flying. This literally has every rule for
most of your rules. Yeah, for like 103, you don't have to have a license. You don't have to have a medical exam, but your plane does have to weigh 254 pounds. And this will tell you all of the regulations, where you can fly, where you can't fly. Of course, you need to go learn about your NOTAMs, your ATIS, to the weather and so forth, so that when you do fly, that you know that it's safe to fly. But this tells you about your airplane.
And one thing cool about this book is that it does have a glossary in the back for you. So if you're not sure where it is in the book and you're looking for something specific, you can actually go to the glossary to find it in this book. You can also go to Sporty's Pilot Shop on their website and get this exact same book as well. It
is so recommended. It'll help you like a ton. It really tells you about your 103 rules, so you don't have to have a license, you don't have to this, but you want to be safe while flying, so forth. So I have no idea what this is.
Okay, this one is Learn to Fly on the Cheap Ultralight Aircraft. It actually talks about the first aircraft that was made, and it's a small short read introduction to ultralight aircraft that could be just a motivation to get you started. So you can get this book just to check it out, to see what you would like to look at for ultralights, whether it's weight shift, whether it's wing or trike, or whether it's paramotor type with the overcast wing. There are lots of different types, so this may be something just to look at to give you information on the trike itself.
It's so cool to fly in different areas. It's so recommended that you don't wait any longer. Give it a try. Go see like some of the schools. They have a Midwest schools in Omaha, and see how they fly, see what they got going on. It is fairly expensive, but I'm sure you can pay as you go and learn as you go and so forth. But it's so recommended that to try it out, because sometimes you get too old and I wish I'd have done that. But it is so recommended to try it. And
the school in Nebraska is called Midwest Powered Paragliding, Midwest PPG. They do have a website. Right. I will link that in the description below. We are part of an Ultralight Flyers Club in Nebraska, which is really cool. Shout out to them. Shout out to Gary and all the people in the club. You are awesome. Thank you for inviting us. It's super fun to talk with you. We meet every Thursday, the last Thursday of the month, or last Tuesday of the month, depending, but it's usually the 27th or the 30th of every month. So we do a virtual call right now. As we know, the pandemic's around, so we can't meet in person, but we will soon be doing that and hopefully getting to show more aircraft and more stuff. But if you want, link is in the description below for how you can join the Midwest Powered Paragliding Club along with Ultralight Club in Nebraska.
Right on. Next one we have is the Sporty's Ground lesson guide. So if you want to understand what it means to be on the ground school, you want to learn your ground school before you get in the air. So you want to be able to understand what you do first before you get in the air. So when you're in the air, you don't wish you were on the ground. It's always better being on the ground, wishing you were in the air. So this is just kind of an introductory to the Sporty's Recreational Private Pilot. And if you do want to take people up in your particular plane of two-seater, you need to be a private pilot or what they call a sport pilot. And like I said, tons of weather to get to understand the weather. So you go fly, it's safe up there.
And the one cool thing about this is it does have an introduction to your ground school, and you can get this on the Sporty's website, just like everything else we have linked below. Everything we linked today will be available on the Sporty's Pilot Shop website. The cool part about ground school it tells you everything, whether it's takeoffs, landings, things you need to expect and prepare before even getting in your plane, what rules you might have to get your license, and all the different things. So it's definitely recommend to check that out.
I'm not sure if this goes with the ground school, but it's just another training online course. I think it goes with the CD that we previously.
It goes with the CD that we did have, and this is the book for it. And it's a training course online for private pilot specifically. This is not for sport pilot. This is for private pilot. And Sporty's, again, Sporty's Pilot Shop. Learn to fly here, learn to fly everywhere. If you check this out, it's recommended because they do have a lot of other tools and information that we have not listed today that will help you. They also have a magazine that comes out monthly, so you can get the magazine, which tells you all the equipment you might need. It lists products for sale to help you travel better, fly better. Even if you're a commercial pilot or someone who flies a linear jet, you may want equipment such as flashlights, knives, all kinds of equipment.
Learning CDs, tons. They're so recommended to get familiar with what you would like to do as far as aircraft. To floats, to landing with skis, to tundra tires, like landing up in Alaska and so forth. Just a blast. This is our last one that we have. This is the Ultralight by Rick Carrier. This particular book's kind of an older book. I don't know if they still make this one anymore, but it's basically just to get familiar with extra information, to understand the weather, understand what happens when you land in a crosswind, to it's just all kinds of info. Very recommended. I'm so glad I got it. I have another one for weight shift. Weight shift is my desired aircraft. I like that the best.
And one thing about this book is it's a complete book of flying training, and there is safety listed. So if you don't have a Sporty's pilot book, but you can find this on Amazon or eBay, and you could possibly look there to see if you can get this. This book is recommended because it does list safety as well as things you may not get in certain other books. We did find a lot of useful information in this book.
Right on. Yep. Where the wind goes when flying in the mountains, how it actually comes up, and not so good if you're not prepared for it. It'll also come through the ravines and gullies and so forth, and to kind of show you how to stay away from those and to stay away from, of course, power lines and so forth, but to have just an extremely awesome good time.
Yes. So what is your favorite thing about weight shift versus regular plane, and what is your reaction to weight shift over a regular plane?
Well, the weight shift is extremely awesome. The motor is behind you. All the things with the propeller and stuff are behind you. You don't have any tail at all. All you have is a prop behind you. The wing is built in as far as yaw goes, and they're extremely easy to fly. You push the bar completely forward, and a few seconds after the full throttle, you're in the air. It's just a beautiful plane. It's really easy to learn to fly. It's probably I don't know about the easiest plane, but it sure is extremely easy to fly. But as far as in the air goes, you can kind of let go of the bar and set your cruise and just cruise along. I think cruises around 50 mile an hour with a 2-cylinder, say roughly around 50 horse or something like that. But the Rev X, that's probably one of the better planes. A lot of them have a bar in the front of you, but a Rev X is eliminated the bar, so your field of view is just open, awesome, man. You can see everything so plain. It is so easy to fly. Like I say, they don't fly very fast, but it is so awesome to be able to get in the air, and you can do your crop inspection, field inspection, to cow inspection. You can land in the field, check all your cows, check your tank, fly home. Oh, shucks, I forgot something. You can fly back. It's just a few seconds you're in the air. You don't have to fly at 1,000 feet, but you definitely want to, before you're going to fly low, fly over the area, inspect the area for power lines or trees of whatever course, or if it may even barbed wire fence and so forth. If you're going to land, make sure that, out in the field, you don't want to run into what used to be a fence or something like that, but you can land it in just a few feet and take off the same way.
Right. What is your reaction to older ultralights, such as like 80s version, which is the corded versions with the wings with the corded and is a more permanent fixed wing, to unfixed wing where you can actually fold it up and take it with you?
Anyway, the weight shift, you can fold it up, put it in a bag, or you can fold it up and leave it on the trike, trailer it, and take it where you desire to fly it. The other ones with the corded wings and so forth, I am not familiar with those very well at all. Like I said, they have school for those. They make those and so forth, but I am not too familiar with those. I'm familiar with some of the rotor aircraft as far as auto gyros. I like those a lot, but I don't know too much about those. But the weight shift seems to be the best all around, safest airplane. Just amazing. But like I said, do your walk around. They'll show you how to do it. Do you look at your wing and make sure that it's fit to fly before you take off? Like I say, it's better to be on the ground wishing you were in the air versus in the air wishing you were on the ground.
Okay.
So you gotta be careful.
Great. So next question is, what is your reaction to paramotor trikes versus paramotor backpacks?
Paramotor backpacks are absolutely awesome. I love them. I wish I could do them right now, go to school for them. I think they're amazing. But for an older fellow like myself, that when you're coming in for landing, you have to use your built-in landing gear, which is your legs to that's your landing gear. But a lot of times you come in, and they'll show you how to come in, and you come in soft, but a lot of times you come in kind of hot, and it's just the way the particular atmosphere or wind is. But I think with putting a trike on your paramotor would be absolutely just wonderful. It doesn't unscrew or your view. You can see everything. You can put gauges on it so that you can tell your altimeter how high you are to your airspeed. You can also put a deal on there for your phone. And it's just absolutely beautiful. It really is too. And they don't fly very fast. But they're absolutely just amazing how far you can go.
So one thing that is cool is this thing that my dad just recently got, and it's a wireless earphone. So if you are a pilot or even a motorcycle rider, these are great. You can screw them or stick attach them to your helmet. And the cool part about this is we have not set it up yet, but we will. And it's so that you can Bluetooth connect to people and talk to people from your phone. The other thing cool that we have discovered is the Bofang. Now, this one is the 5R, right?
The 5R, yeah.
This one's the smaller one. It is the 5R, but it actually has a lot of channels. It's like a CB radio or a walkie-talkie, but it's portable. And it goes for flying. It goes for just regular talking to people. You can get radio stations off of it. And it's super great to have one of these. The reason being is, what would you need this for?
Well, you need it for aviation, for flying. You can talk to the airport, control tower. With these particular little planes, you don't go around a big control tower of any kind. You can go to smaller airports and you can talk to planes that are taking off and landing without having a control tower. You're kind of your own control tower, but you need to be able to say, hey, this is my plane, whatever it may be. I'm taking off on this particular runway at this direction. And so other planes know that you're taking off. That's kind of the biggest thing. For going to like a controlled airspace with control tower, that's not it. We just kind of stay away from those. Those can take care of themselves. They have a lot of activity that we don't even need to be there. We just kind of fly of our own. You can fly around like Fort Randall to just different lakes and reservoirs that are really fun. You have to be careful. Definitely fly high first before you fly low to inspect your area.
One cool thing about where we're from is we're from Nebraska. So we're in the corn state. Go Huskers. But we actually have the coolest state because we have a lot of open fields, open farms. What's some of the cool things about Nebraska that you think flying in Nebraska would be a benefit?
Well, you can check your own cows. Definitely, if you're looking to buy land, what's on it, you can fly over and check it out. Also, if there's, say, even ice jams on the river, where are they at? You can fly over to find them, and just mostly for recreation, having a blast. You can take it in trailer just anywhere and camp and then just fly all day if you'd like and so forth. But definitely go with the regulations and so forth of the FFA and be respectful of farmers and so forth, because definitely not your land and so forth to ask for permission and so forth like that.
Right. Next question is, do you like GoPros, and do you think GoPros a great way to take with you to go flying? And have you heard of any attachments or mounts maybe that you would recommend to people if they want to?
No, I haven't heard any attachments or mounts, and I've never done it before, but I'd sure like to. I think it's extremely awesome because you can watch like the YouTube videos of people that have made them. But yeah, it's extremely fun to see your flight after you've taken it. So, yeah, it's a blast. I don't know too much about the mounts and so forth, but, yeah, very interested to do such.
Yes, we are very interested. So, GoPro, will you please hit us up? We would love to partner with you, work with you, get a sponsorship by you, or have you sponsor us to fly and show you all of our cool places in Nebraska. Even driving, we can take our GoPro anywhere with us and show you all of Nebraska and all the cool things in Nebraska. The cool part about him is he is a truck driver as well, so he can travel anywhere, go all over the state, taking videos, showing you cool stuff, projects, things that he does. He builds stuff at his shop, which is super cool. What kind of cool things have you built at your shop that kind of have benefited you?
Well, I work for Ferguson Agriculture Services place, and we send fertilizer to farmers and so forth. So anyway, we put generators converted to hydraulic pumps to actually run the fertilizer out to the farmers and so forth from semis. So yeah, we do a lot of trucking. So
the cool part is he built his very own air compressor, which is really cool. He even built his own battery charger. That cart works better than one you can find at Harbor Freight or anywhere. He's taking that thing everywhere.
It's pretty good. I think it needs a little work right now, but we charge just about everything. We can take it out to a semi, and in a few minutes it would charge it right up from a 5 horsepower engine with an alternator on it. It works pretty good.
Yeah, so super cool, guys. If you have any tool tips, things you want to see my dad build, things you want my dad to do, let me know in the comment section below. Follow, like, share, subscribe. Next up, we have a very cool video that we're going to show you. This is the kind of ultralight that my dad actually likes and wants to fly. So we are going to go ahead with this video, and we hope you guys like it. It's a really cool weight shift trike. This is an ultralight weight shift trike. This one is the Rev X. Am I right?
I believe so.
And this is our reaction to this trike. We actually like this trike. And so, Dad, tell them a little bit about why you like this trike.
Well, for one, I don't have the front bar in the back. It's made quite well. It has like a, what is it, 2-cylinder snowmobile engine on it. Huge ton of tires. You can just land it anywhere, fly it anywhere. It comes off the ground like just super cool. It has a bar, like I say, on it. That's how you steer it. It's just super cool. You can fold it up and take it anywhere you'd like to go. Just super awesome the way they've made it. I love it that the screen stands out in the air so the other planes can see you. So just a super cool plane.
And the cool part about this plane is, and this video exactly, is because it's showing you exactly what you should do before you take off. So what's the first thing he did? He pulled his bar back, he checked everything, made sure everything was secure before takeoff, checked all of his weather, did everything he was supposed to do before takeoff. And that's exactly what we were talking about with these instruction booklets and everything like that. It is super important. Guys, don't ever get in a plane or any type of thing until you have training. Training is the number one huge thing that we recommend.
Yep.
Although it looks easy on video, it's super important to know every single thing that you are doing.
Yep.
Now, what we will see next is him in a quick second takeoff. It's really that fast of a takeoff, and the cool part for that is that when he takes off, he gets it to full speed, and he's gone. It's that fast, and that's what my stepdad was talking about when he takes off. So when he takes off, we will give a reaction to how he takes off and things that we recommend doing when takeoff.
Yep. So cool. Is it the hold short now? Asking you for permission to enter the runway. So cool. You can also see he has a strobe on there. They have to fly with the strobe to so they're identify aircraft you can identify him.
Now he is entered airspace for takeoff. And he's getting ready. He will turn here and then he will take off.
Yeah, there he goes.
Push the bar out.
Goes forward. He's in the air.
So the reaction to that is you push the bar all the way forward to a certain point and then it comes back.
No, you have to pull it back. Pull back after your front tires come off. Yep.
The cool part about this flight is it's just like flying in Nebraska. The one thing that you will need to look out for, like Dad says, is weather. You never know when there's going to be clouds or anything like that. So a lot of thing I learned from you is clouds and how they affect your flying. So how has that been for you flying?
Yeah, just if it's cloudy or windy or so forth, you have to use your own discretion to stay out of the air. But you definitely want to be visibility. Make sure that your strobe works. So when in the air, the other aircraft can see you. But always keep a lookout for other aircraft, and so that you don't run into them either. So, but like I say, if you're going to fly in the clouds, they say no, that's not a good thing to do.
And what is the one thing about clouds that you taught me is that when the clouds are, say, going to rain or it's looking like it's going to rain, there's going to be suction from the ground because it's sucking moisture from the ground. So can you talk a little bit about that? Yeah,
it's a good idea to land anywhere, I guess. Make sure that you get out of the air. Good idea before you take off to to check the weather, like your NOTAMs, notice to airmen and your ATIS. Very important to check that, because a lot of times they will have in the area, maybe there's jet fighters that are doing test flights over you, and a good idea to not be in the air with them. That might not be a good experience.
One cool thing about ultralights is that you can fly with birds in the air, and it does not really affect birds as much.
No. If there's any birds in the air, I want to stay completely away from them. So, yeah, they can go their way, we'll go ours. We're kind of our own bird.
So if we see other planes flying, should we enter their airspace or stay out of their airspace?
I'd stay completely away from them. Yep, completely away from them at all times. If we go over like what is it, the town of some really kind of establishment, we need to be at least 500 feet.
One thing people ask is if they are flying and they see a bunch of weird things going on in the air, how can they avoid that? To turn around, go a different route, or should they call and radio ahead to see what's happening before landing and so forth?
Well, if you're in a control tower where there's no control tower, it's just a runway, and you're the actual control car because you're the only ones that have radio. You can radio to others in the vicinity that there may be a problem or so forth. So, yep.
One thing about flight is, do you constantly have to keep your hands on the bar? And do you constantly have to keep your feet in a certain position?
No. You just got to keep it level flight. You don't have to fly at what you call maximum speed all the time. You can back her off and so forth. But your feet need to be on the front tires, of course, when you land. But because that's your steer tire on the front. But you don't have to touch the bar all the time. But just make sure at level flight. You can kind of let go and give your arms a break. But it's nothing to fly. They're very easy, very wonderful.
So people ask, what's one thing you would recommend about ultralight purchasing, and what do you recommend in looking for ultralights?
Well, it's kind of your preference, what kind of ultralight you would like, what one speaks to you that you would like. This one I like a lot. I learned or took my lessons clear in Alaska and had a fabulous blast buying it. But like I said, it's kind of up to the individual. There may be different planes or different. Some people would be like paragliders. People like autogyros to the fixed wing type. But this one is just extremely easy to fly. It's not very fast, of course. You can get the bigger ones that have a 4-cylinder engine running at 100 miles an hour. I mean, look right along. But I just decided to go with the smaller engine and so forth.
Yes. So thank you for answering all of our ultralight questions. And if everyone you have more questions, let us know. Please let us know in the comment section below. Also, all the links are in the description for Midwest Powered Paragliding Flight School in Nebraska. Thank you to them for their awesome school, and to JD and everyone at the company who talked to us a little bit about their powered parachutes. They do paramotoring, powered paragliding, trikes. They work for Blackhawk Paramotors as well. So Blackhawk Paramotors, that's something that they kind of partner with. We have looked at them a little bit. There is a website for Blackhawk Paramotors, which I will link. There's also another company out on paramotors that I will also link in the description below, so you guys can check out the different types of paramotors, powered paragliding. I will also link in the description the differences between trikes versus backpack paramotoring. And like my dad said, for someone who's younger who may want to get a running start at paramotoring, that is something you can look at. But you can also look at trike paramotoring, which is great. That's like flying an ultralight in a way, because you're actually sitting versus having to get a running start at it. One thing we wanted to also highlight is the materials that we listed in today's video. This is the Ultralights by Rick Carrier. It's Sports and Hobbies. In this book, it is a complete book of flying, training, and safety. We also listen. This is the 2021 Private Pilot Prepware software for your computer. You can download the software to a Windows computer. It is not compatible with Chromebook. Unfortunately, you will have to get the Chromebook or iOS version if you have an Apple computer. That's also recommended. We do also want to highlight the 2021 Farm Aim. This goes with your entire thing. Everything you want to know, instructions, rules, etc. This is in this entire thing. We also want to mention, if you're just wanting to learn a little bit about them, this is a Learn to Fly in the Cheap Introduction to Ultralight Aircraft. So this is just a small book. It's not very many pages, as you can see, but it just talks a little bit about it and tells you what you might be getting into. There are some really cool pictures of ultralights on the front. Also, these two things are my dad's absolute favorite. This is his training course guide outline for online private pilot. So this is specifically private pilot. You also get one for sport pilot, which is this one. Sporty's Pilot Shop. If you guys would like to sponsor us, we would appreciate it. But this is your complete lesson, Sporty's ground lesson guide, sport, recreational, and private pilot. So this is sport, recreational flying, and private pilot. So this has everything you need to know for ground school before getting in the air. So thank you for joining us here on Welcome to the Red Zone.
Well,
Do what you love what you do. Featuring people from all around the world, music, sports fans, entertainment, adventure, broadcasting skills. You can have your very own adventure right here on the Red Zone. I'm Samantha's World with Mechanic Warren. And we want to shout out our top sponsors, Spotify, Listen Notes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker. We also want to shout out StreamYard. Thank you for putting us out on YouTube. We appreciate you.
well,
And we also want to shout out Anchor. It's a great way to start a podcast. If you have never started a podcast, I recommend joining me over on Anchor at Welcome to the Red Zone. We also usually have my good partner, Mystic from the Red Zone, who has his very own podcast called The New Adventures of Mystic from the Red Zone, where he has a total kids podcast for kids. So if you guys want, you can go listen to kids podcasts. There's all kinds of adventures for kids. We do cartoon talks and all kinds of cartoon shows. On Welcome to the Red Zone, we talk about everything from music, sports, friends, entertainment, adventure, broadcasting. We talk about aviation, mechanics, and pretty much everything. Our YouTube channel, also, we list everything. This was an informational video based on information and experiences that we have received. This is just informative. You do not have to do everything we said in this video. It's just to offer tips and opportunities for you to get some information on ultralights. So thank you again for joining me, Samantha's World, with Mechanic Warren. Much love, and we will see each and every one of you on the next adventures with Welcome to the Red Zone.